Hi there, my name is Kim Tierney, and if you've clicked on this link, it's because you're probably facing a retina detachment, or you've had one, or you've had a vitreous detachment, or you're experiencing flashers or floaters. But I'm here to talk about my experience with all of the above. I had a retina detachment that I didn't know about 10 years ago. I didn't have the symptoms given to me of what it was. I was 43 years old, and I'd been seeing dark ghost floaters, but I didn't know what the pinprick floaters would look like. And if those of you that have experienced, you'll know what I'm talking about. They look like little oil droplets, as if you're looking up from, underneath the glass. And I had those, and I went ahead and went to Mexico for a Christmas trip. And on Christmas Eve, I had a retina detachment that tore past my macula and made me blind in my right eye. I went to a wonderful doctor in Mexico. She was amazing. They opened up the offices for me and said, "I'm sorry, but there's really nothing we can do for you, that you need to fly home and see a surgeon." So I had a wonderful friend who's a nurse whose husband had been through a retina detachment before, and got me in to see Dr. Anand in Dallas the very next day, which was Christmas Day. And he came in and he looked at my eye and he said, "I'm so sorry." He said, "There's no sense in rushing right now in getting you into surgery because it's already torn past the macula, which makes you blind, which is our greatest fear. And usually we rush people into retina surgery when they first see the symptoms so that we can prohibit this from happening. But because I was already past that point, he said, "Let's schedule surgery for next Tuesday," which happened to be the 28th. So 3 days later, I had retina reattachment surgery and a spherical, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but a spherical buckle put around my right eye, and I had a gas bubble put into my eye. And because my tears were all underneath the eye, I didn't have to do the face down position, because otherwise I'd just have to stand on my head to hold that down. And for those of you that don't understand what that process is, that if you're just starting your journey, you haven't had your surgery yet, or you're in the middle of all these things, my experience was all my tears were underneath on the bottom part of my eye. So when he did the repair, he cauterized the repair, put the spherical buckle on, which is puts basically a plastic belt around your eye, which squeezes it down, and it flattens out. The cauterization flattens out the retina, but then the buckle makes the eye have more material. Basically, it's like if you pull a hem, you pull your shirt hem, and you don't have enough material to sew it all back together again. That's why the buckle had to go on, to make the eye smaller, so that there was enough retina to lay flat. And then you put a gas bubble in that was to dissolve in 30 days. It was really harsh, I won't lie. The surgery went off without a hitch. He's a wonderful doctor. He gave me all the ins and the outs and the ups and the downs of what was going to happen. And basically, when I came out of surgery, I had an eye patch on, and the next day they took the eye patch off, and I couldn't see anything because you can't see through the gas bubble. And as the gas bubble dissipated, I had vision back, but it was blurry. I mean, it didn't make any sense, and it was super blurry. I could see images, but I couldn't see detail. And also what had happened with the spherical buckle was that tying it down made my focal range really long. So I had two different focal ranges. This eye was normal focal range, and because this eye was closed down, it's like if you elongated a lens of a camera, it made that focal range much further away, so objects were smaller. So as the gas bubble dissipated, which took like 35 days to do, and my vision slowly came back, it came back, other than the black I had when it detached, when it tore past the macula, I was completely blind. But I did get my vision back, which was great. And within, 3-4 months, a cataract formed, and I had to go get cataract surgery in this eye. And what they decided to do was make it, since this eye could still see distance, they would make this one be able to see close up. So they put the cataract lens in, and I was able to read again without glasses or anything. And over time, it was just, you know, I'm almost 9 years out from that surgery. It'll be December 28, 2010 is when I had it. And I guess the warning signs, if that's what you guys are looking for, were black dots, the dots that look like they are, you know, little ink spots. But I will say something that they never told me, and for about 5, maybe 2 to 5 years leading up to the actual dots happening, I had ghost floaters, like big ones that would block street signs while I'm driving. Like all of a sudden it would float in and then it would float out, and then I could see the sign again. I had trouble looking at people that were being backlit, so they would look just like a silhouette to me. I couldn't see the detail in their face. So to me, those are the signs that they don't tell you about when it comes to a retina detachment, or if you're a candidate for a retina detachment. Those to me were all signs that the gel inside my eye was not doing well, and that it was disintegrating, and it was casting shadows on my, I guess it's my optic nerve, my retina, causing me to see those floaters. And so over time, that gel disintegrated and it caught on my retina. And as the gel was disintegrating, the vitreous gel, it pulled away as it pulled away, it tore my retina. And then those were the black dots that you see afterwards. But as your vitreous fluid is disintegrating, as it is growing smaller, which happens with age, sometimes they say it happens with injury. This is usually something that happens to people between their 50s and their 80s, very likely after 80. But I started doing this at about 39, started seeing these shadows at 39, but nobody told me what they were until it was too late for my right eye. So I'm going to fast forward to today. I had last Saturday, so 9 days ago, I all of a sudden started seeing flashes in this eye, like flashes that look like starburst. Like they would come and go. Every time I blinked, I would see a starburst. Or any time that I would walk and move my eye up and down or whatever, it would just be a flash of light, starburst, 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 starburst. And it was just constant. And so I made my appointment with Dr. Anand last Monday, and I went in and I said, hey, I'm seeing these flashers. And he said, are you seeing any more floaters? And I said, yeah, I'm seeing like snake-like floaters. Sometimes they go out into being different bubbles, but then they go in and they conjoin again and they become snakes. But the flashes are really driving me crazy. He said, okay. So they did a scan and they saw that my vitreous was pulling again on my macula, now in this eye. And I was like, oh my God, here we go again. I said, well, I'm traveling. Should I travel? He's like, yes, go ahead and travel. Don't worry. You know, it's going to do what it can do, and we'll just keep an eye on it, is what he told me. So fast forward to Thursday night, so 4 days later or 3.5 days later, I'm having dinner, and all of a sudden it's like black, and then I get vision back, and then all of a sudden there are just if not millions, thousands if not millions of bubbles, like thousands of them. It was unbelievable. It was like jumping in the water from a high platform and opening your eyes and watching all those bubbles go up. But they were tiny, and they were all around in my eye. And all of a sudden I had this ghosting shield in my peripheral, and it was a light, white, milky shield. And I'm like, oh God, here I go again. So I told my husband, next morning, when we're in Arizona, I'm not home, we go to see an optometrist, emergency optometrist there. And she looks at my eye and she's like, yep, you had a vitreous detachment. The dots you're seeing are blood from all the blood vessels breaking off from the wall in your eye. And I would suggest that you not continue on your trip and you go home and you see Dr. Anand on Monday. So fast forward to today. I saw Dr. Anand this morning, and I am getting a vitrectomy tomorrow. I'm having surgery tomorrow. I've never had a vitrectomy. Well, I did have a vitrectomy in this eye, but there was so much more to do. But what he's going to do tomorrow is, he said there's a lot of bleeding in my eye. It's blocking my vision. and because we are worried about the retina and it possibly tearing further, or not, it hasn't torn the retina yet, but the vitreous gel contracting more and maybe pulling on my retina in other places. He's like, let's go in, let's take it out, let's cauterize around the retina. We'll put in an air bubble this time, so it'll be about a 2-week recovery, and then slowly your vision will start to come back in that eye. And you know, I back up, I had cataract surgery in this eye, premature cataracts as well. I don't know, it was psychosomatic because I felt sorry for this eye, but it, with no surgeries in it, it still had the cataract surgery. But anyway, I hope this helps somebody. I will post another video tomorrow as I'm going into surgery. I have surgery at 1, and then I will post a video post-surgery, and hopefully we can get Dr. Anand on the camera as well. But I just want to put this out there for people. And if you have any questions, please write in the comments below. I'm happy to talk to you about my experience. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I've been dealing with this now for over 9 years. And there's a lot that they don't tell you because they're not living in your body. So I know for myself, I had thousands of questions, and Dr. Anand has been an amazing doctor, but through research, and there's a Yahoo group on retina detachment that was also very helpful during those times of really being scared. And I'm scared for tomorrow because any slip, anything off could blind me tomorrow. It could also distort the cataract, that lens that's in there, and causing my vision to blur again. So, but the good news is it's getting rid of all the blood that's in there. It'll cauterize all of the issues that are causing the bleeding. It will also get rid of the floaters that are in my gel. So stay tuned.